All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you some honest astrology about the new moon that we're having in Aries on Friday the 17th of April 2026 at 7:50 a.m. We have an absolutely stacked Aries. Where is Aries in your chart? Knowing your chart is really important because this new moon is all about knowing yourself. My friends, congratulations on being you. Congratulations on being alive, on clicking on this video today. You're the very first person in the history of time to be you. How cool is it to be you? Now, this whole world is full of people and full of ideas and full of concepts that existed before you were born, before you had your own personal thoughts of your own. Your own personal thoughts of your own. You get it. So there are things like language and mathematics that we learn from our predecessors. There's things of how to walk and how to run, how to stretch, how to live this life without hurting ourselves and achieving the things that we want to do, how we can communicate with the outside world, how we can learn to, again, mathematics if we want to solve equations or computer science or build a house. We have to know some of these fundamental things. The beauty of this is you're not alone. You're not alone in the endeavors of learning how to human. This particular lunation, this new moon in Aries, is all about you exploring yourself. And there are positive, and then there are little tricks involved in this as well. There are things that we can do to avoid it. Avoid knowing ourselves. And they're being highlighted right now in the astrology. For example, we have Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, which is about expansion. Jupiter's all about expansion within the limits of Saturn. Saturn says, okay, this is as much as we can expand here in the physical world, in this third dimension. And if we expand more than this, then it becomes unstable. Right? We can have more and more and more emotions about a particular topic until we become unstable. Now, what do we do when we become unstable? How do we patch that up? How do we put a band-aid on our emotions? In some ways, what people do is they buy themselves nice things. This particular new moon is saying, don't do that. Don't evade, and I'm going to show you why. Jupiter's making this beautiful little connection over here, sextile to Venus. Now, again, there's so much in Aries that look at Taurus. Like Taurus starts here, but there's just so much in Aries that it's being pushed over in the chart. So it's to maintain its, equal balance. So Jupiter here, more, and Venus is all about what you love, want, and desire here, home in its sign of Taurus, along with Uranus at the honoratic degree, 29 degrees, which means this is very strong energy. This is the last time Uranus is going to be in Taurus for 84 years. This is the last time Uranus will be in Taurus for the rest of our lives. Okay? The reason I'm starting here and not here in Aries, because there's a lot to talk about in Aries. We're talking about breakthroughs when it comes to this septile here, this little purple line. The sextile is the blue dashed line that's connected to Venus. Then Uranus, breakthrough, break free Uranus, is making a septile to Jupiter, the septile is a fated line, a fate, destiny, where the sextile is these two elements are working together to solve things. Okay, the water and the earth are a creation. And when we don't feel good, you go out for ice cream or you buy yourself something. Okay, this is a don't run and hide kind of energy. This is sit with it kind of energy, as you are the one that is the teacher, you are the student, you are the science experiment, and you are the scientist exploring the experiment itself. Okay, so here we have these with Uranus in Taurus. We have these old concepts of patriarch, okay? Now, what that means is different to everybody. And over here with the South Node in Virgo, we have been slaughtering our language to where we sometimes don't even know what a word means. So like for example, I got into a conversation recently with someone about dimensions, this being the third dimension. And they were talking about all these other dimensions. And it's just like, well, what is the definition to you of a dimension? And to this individual, it was like a portal to another world. And it's like, well, look it up in the dictionary. What does dimension mean? It's a measurement. It's all it is. It's a measurement, length, width, and height. And because we have length, width, and height, we are in the third dimension. This physical plane is the third dimension. And then we play these word games about fourth and fifth dimension and all this stuff. It's just simply understanding the concept of what it is that we're talking about and not playing word games that are allowing us to escape it. So the patriarchy, what that means is kind of different for different people. But we're breaking this concept or coming to at least a better understanding of what that means. And I'm not going to explain it for you. It's up to us to try to understand and dissolve and figure it out, okay? But the thing is we're having dissolving concepts. It's like if you think that patriarchy is bad, that men creating a system is bad, it's like that's a very strange way to look at this. It'd be like if women created a system and say, well, the matriarch is bad. It's just like, no, this is just how I am perceiving it, how those words and these concepts go into my skull, the eyes and the ears, the nose, the mouth, whatever, and drink it in, feel it, breathe it in, and how I am interpreting and regurgitating it back out. Okay. The key here is with Aries conjuncting this Aries conjuncting the sun and the moon. Okay. And Chiron, the wounded healer. Eris is the goddess of discord. The mythology is she gives the seven muses the not the apple, what is it? Pomegranate. And it says to the most beautiful one. And these seven beautiful muses fight amongst each other on who deserves it. Okay. So these seven beautiful goddesses, instead of doing what they normally do, which is make things beautiful, they turned ugly and are fighting against themselves and who deserves this pomegranate. Okay. So how do we interpret information once we receive it? Are we fueled with rage? Are we fueled with anger? I put this funny skit up yesterday. It's an old and we're going to there's a lot of good stuff here, so please stick with me. It's an old skit, the guys from Monty Python. What is his name? I can't think of it. But he talks about, it's on my Instagram. It's on Vyumke Instagram or my Facebook, Aaron Eschenburg, if you want to check it out. John Cleese. And it's him talking about getting the right enemies. And if you want the right enemies, we have a list full of enemies for you. And if you want to be an extremist on the left, then here's your list of enemies. And if you want to be an extremist on the right, well, here's your different list of enemies. And you can go along being a terrible person as long as you make these people your enemies. You can, it's just like you're allowing yourself to be the worst version of yourself because other people exist and are doing things that you don't align with. That is the power of this new moon and this connection with Eris, is how we're drinking in this information and how we are reacting, how we're responding to this. And people, and I am not a political person. I have opinions and views, but every time the past two elections that Trump has been president, people lose their minds. They lose their emotions. They are not thinking logically. And sure, there's a lot of things you want to be upset about the guy. More than welcome to be upset. But the point is, if you're a good person, then you have a moral and ethical bobber inside that says what is good and what is not. And what I am seeing personally, visually all around me, is people using politics to excuse their poor and shitty behavior. Yeah, that's exactly right. We've been acting poor and shitty to each other because of a difference of ideas and views and opinions and all this other stuff. And it's giving a reason for people to be the worst versions of themselves. And they say, well, that's not me. That's because of this. And it's like, yeah, well, welcome to April's new moon in Aries, because it is about you. And if you're being an asshole, you're an asshole. Whatever's in your cup, I got some coffee in here. Whatever's in my cup is what's going to fill out my little Ninja Turtles cup. You like that? Always be a child. I'm 43 years old. Always be a child. Well, whatever's in our cup is what comes out. If I'm full of anger and you bump into me, I might respond with anger. If you bump into me and I'm full of peace, no worries, man. If you bump into me and tea's in my cup, tea comes out, it's coffee, it's coffee. You get it. I don't want to dwell on that too much because it's very important, but there's so much other stuff to talk about. So stop being an asshole just because you don't like the politics. You don't get a free pass to be a rude and cruel person because you don't like the politics that's happening around you. Like, figure it out. You have to figure it out. You have to be nice. You don't have to be, but karma is a real thing. Okay, so let's move out of that topic. Now, let's come back here. We're going to finish up this right here. How do you survive? How do you survive, my friends? What do you need to survive? You need shelter. Okay, this is Taurus energy. Shelter. You need food and clothes. You need things. This is Venus and Taurus energy. Now, with Jupiter creating this connection to Venus and Uranus in Taurus, I have to ask a serious question. And now I understand that this doesn't apply to absolutely everybody. But if you have a home, if you have a house, and you have grass and property, do you have a garden? Because everybody eats. Everybody eats food every day. Every day we need to eat food to sustain the nutrients so that we can live and survive. It is gardening season. If you have property, garden. This is the energy is saying take it amongst yourselves to provide food for yourself. This is extremely important moving forward, not just to this particular lunation, but for life in general. Even if you have a balcony in an apartment complex or a condo, make a little garden. Grow some tomatoes, grow some cucumbers, whatever it is. Being self-sufficient is extremely potent right now. Grocery prices are going to continue to rise. Here's another fun tip. If you lick the seeds, and you plant them, those seeds learn your DNA and they're going to give back to you. Now, do you think the stores, tomatoes, cucumbers, avocados, whatever, do you think that they have your particular DNA set? No, they're sprayed with pesticides and all this other crap, okay? So if we want to give nutrients to ourselves and be self-sustainable and create a garden for ourselves, we have to do the work. And that's what this Aries New Moon is all about, is about doing the work. We can be shown insight. We can have these great epiphanies. We can pluck them from the sky and say, oh my God, I had this great, brilliant idea. And we can talk about the idea with our friends, and we can ruminate on what we want to do with this. We can keep it inside. It's our little secret. Okay? Talking about it and thinking about it has a dopamine hit. Okay? So if you have this brilliant idea or this thing that you want to do for yourself to better yourself, to get you out of a situation, change jobs, change careers, partnership, whatever it is, if you have the idea to do something, once you start talking about it, the same dopamine hits go off in your brain as the same as completing it. Yeah, I'm working on a song, and I get excited about it. But is the song done? No, because I'm still right. It's like you have to actually put the foot in front of the other and make the thing happen. And that's what brings us back to this chart here. We have not only this Sun and Moon in conjunct Chiron, which is healing, and conjunct Eris, which is how we're dealing with information being presented to us. All the information is there. This is just how we are personally dealing with it. Now, these four, okay, they're two because this is a conjunction and this is a conjunction. We can say that they're all working together, but I'm looking at these as a Saturn-Mars conjunction and a Mercury-Neptune conjunction, as they're much, much tighter. Nonetheless, they're all working together. Your mind and your actions, your dreams, and what's real is all working together, okay? And it's up to you. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to just give you all the answers. No one is going to, just hand you over whatever it is and say, hey, your idea is brilliant. Here's $1 bazillion. Go do your thing. No, this is saying you have to do the work. Saturn and Mars here. Mars is Saturn's little helper. Saturn is the boss and says, this is what we need to get done. And Mars says, okay, let's go. And Mars being home in Aries. This is about taking the initiative, the inertia, the spark of the match that gets the fire going. Venus, home in Taurus right now, saying, what do I need for myself to survive? I need to take care of my home. I need to take care of my shelter. I need to take care of my garden. Okay? And taking care of our gardens, extremely important. So how do we do it? How do we create the garden? Well, we have to literally create it. If we don't have one, that means going out there, tilling the earth, tilling the soil, breaking up the grass or the weeds or whatever it is, and actually creating, taking the initiative to create your garden, to create the thing that you want to do. The more that you procrastinate on it, the more that it's not going to get done. And then with this world moving as fast as it is, especially with Pluto in Aquarius, and we're about to have Uranus leave Taurus and enter Gemini. Again, this happens once every 84 years, and once this happens, this is already creating a trine. Okay? Transformation of how we view this patriarchy, transformation of this earth, transformation of how we work with the earth and how we till the soil, and how humans eat, right? There's a transformation in society of how we're getting what we need to survive. And it's like, how many people have grown their own food? How many people have their own farm? How many people actually have plucked the feathers of the chicken, or killed the cow, or killed the goat, slaughtered the lamb, and done that? It's like, we are so disconnected from our food. We're so disconnected from that which keeps us alive, and we rely on these corporations and other companies to do that work for us, when we have to do things for ourselves. So this is a beautiful time to garden. This is a beautiful time to start things. Saturn says, let's go. Mars says, let's take action. This is what I want to create. This is how I'm going to do it. Now, the beauty here as well is this Mercury-Neptune conjunction. The first time that Neptune has been here in, 136 years? It takes 170? That math is escaping me at the moment. It takes about 16 years to move through Pisces. It'll be here for quite some time. I think it's 176 years to go around the sun. So Neptune now, this is the first time Neptune's been in Aries. And Neptune is about dreams and intangible. Intangible, the things that expansion beyond the physical world. I can't make more of a tree, but in my mind, the tree can, go off into infinity, and I can climb that tree into, the Tower of Babel if you want. I can climb that tree to the moon or something. This is our own mind, and our imagination can make it up. So we have this beautiful time that says you can make up anything you want right now. The world is going to check you, if it's real or not. The world will do its due diligence in constantly checking you if you're just making things up that are not tangible and not real. And the world is good at that. So you get this opportunity to say, what do I want to create? How do I want to think? What do I want to communicate? And this is about you taking the initiative in those things. Like, here's an interesting thing. Like we're changing. We're changing in how we communicate with one another. When I went to high school, it was, it's the guy asks the girl to the homecoming dance. The guy asks the girl to prom. The guy asks the woman, will you be my wife? The man makes these approaches, these things. This Uranus in Taurus, this shift of patriarchy and men listening to women, and the world of equality, things are shifted. Things have shifted. And it's just like, we can't shift one thing without the other. The dominoes are all connected. So there are certain things that say, ladies, if you want this, you have to be the one to take the initiative. Like the communication, the things that have happened, there are certain men that are absolutely not going to approach or not going to take the initiative because of the damage that has been done of videotaping and, oh, you're trying to do your little bird dance for me? Well, I'm going to put you on blast and make fun of you for it. You shouldn't ever, it's just like there has been damage done to both the masculine and the feminine, and we're trying to heal this and trying to figure it out. But the point here is we all have to take the initiative. Like the damsel can't just be sitting there saying, help, help, I'm, come get me. We're in a different place now, and we all are adjusting to this. Okay, so on the feminine aspect, the feminine is got to take strides in taking the initiative, in asking what they want, communicating what they want and their needs, trying best, as we see here, to communicate their dreams from a, this is like mindful, right? This was just a sextile. That'd be one thing. It's a septile. So it's like this is a emotions, okay? Emotions, septile to our communication and our dreams. We have our emotions, then the expansion of our emotions connecting to Uranus, the breakthrough. This again is how the volcano erupts. This is the earthquake. This is the lightning strike, the tornado. Uranus energy is. Okay, so it's disrupting and it's breaking things. And we've had this old patriarchy of this concept of the men have to take the initiative for everything. And through the consequences of what has happened over the several years, we can see men simply aren't doing that, and they're preserving themselves for many different reasons. Either way, this isn't about men and women. This is about taking the initiative, okay? And doing this, and so look as well. We're creating this to logic. We have to create logic in our communication, to our emotions, to what is this connecting to? What is that connecting to? Hold on a second. Let's check this out together. I didn't see this. I think this is connecting to our new moon, or is it connecting to Venus? Let's check it out together. Let's take away Venus and see if that line disappears. It does. Okay. So that means the south node is conjunct Venus, or is making the septile to Venus here. So the south node septile to Venus is about, this is about language. This is changing language, changing our language and learning how to communicate that of which we love, want, and desire. And there are many different ways to communicate that of which we want, love, and desire. For example, I'm going to give you another hero thing. This is not about men and women, but we're going to choose to talk about that right now. There's a little line, and there's boys and girls on one side, and their parents are on the other side. And there's the obstacle in front of them. And their mothers are saying, "Come here, child. Come and see," right? And then the boys are trying to break down the obstacle and take the initiative, the inertia to get to mom. The girls, they sat there and cried, and they're giving their, "Hey, I need help. I'm in distress. I need something." They're not taking the initiative, the inertia to break down that wall to go get that of which they desire. They're just simply putting out the call. Both of those things, excuse me, about to sneeze, are taking the initiative. Both of those things are a way to get that of which you desire. There's just different ways of going about it. So if it's action that's needed to take place, then take action. If it's just communication that needs to take place, communicate. There's just simply different ways of going about it, and it's learning the different ways. Okay, so just like ladies say to guys, you need to learn how to communicate. And just the same, ladies, you need to learn how to take action to get the things that you want. Okay, so again, I don't want to just too much about men, women stuff. It's just, there's the different ways that we operate, and the astrology is saying so much right now, like, get it. Like, I want you to have, the universe is like, I want you to have what you're dreaming of. I want you to have these things. And we have to figure out how to communicate to get that of which we love, want, and desire. All right. That's just simply how it is. And then we have this extra bonus boost of Saturn and Mars working together. It's just like, yeah, I can say, and it's, here's the thing. Sometimes when you're asking what you want and you're asking somebody else, you can be rejected. And nobody wants to be rejected. Nobody wants to be rejected. But that's just how it is. It's the uncertainty of life. It's the uncertainty of the world. But you'll never know until you take the steps and you take the actions and create the communication and open up the dialogue. So there's so much right now with just taking those steps into the unknown, taking the steps. And whatever it is in life that you're trying to achieve, just take the first steps. beauty about the South Node right now in Virgo is getting out of our own minds, getting out of our ways. I personally have so many projects on my plate that I'm like, how long am I going to live? Because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to accomplish them all. And when I think like that, and when I talk like that, it's backward. It's as opposite of what I really want. The truth is, I want to accomplish all of these projects, and it's just focusing on which one I want to do at each point in time. And if I sit here and think, I got to do an astrology video today, I've got to put out this, I got to write this article, I got to finish the song, I've got to do, it's just like if I start thinking, if I get in my head and start ruminating about all the things that I got to do, if you start getting in your mind about all the things that you want to do, if you start getting in your mind about this is what I want, and I want to reach out to that person. If that guy doesn't know that you like him, if that girl doesn't know that you like her, she may never know. Sure, actions are important, but some people need, just say it. Hey, I'm digging you like this. I'm interested in you. Would you like to go out? This is the job that I want. Or I don't know how to get in touch with this. Send an email. Like, everything is accessible right now. Everything is accessible. Again, Pluto in Aquarius, everything is not only accessible to you at your fingertips with technology and the internet and social media, and you can find anybody, you can find anyone's email address. I'm not saying for like stalking purposes, I'm saying like business things. Like, you can get a hold of people, you can get a hold of universities, you can get a hold of major players that were once unobtainable. And it's just like, the funny thing is, those people are also waiting for you to make those moves because they need you and your ideas, or your thing that you want to do. It's like, we all want to work together to create those things. So if when people are on a similar path, they're going to go. And if you don't take the initiatives, this Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus moving into Gemini, this way, means somebody else will be there like this, lightning fast. If you're not going to embark upon your ideas, if you're not going to take the initiative to start your garden, to start your life, your family, your whatever it is, your career, or maybe you have all of those things, and maybe you're just, everybody has desires, everybody has ambitions. Okay, you could be 60 years old, you'd be married, have your kids are grown right now and you're watching this video. There's still ambitions, there's still things you want to do, there's still things to communicate. There's still things in our mind that are blocks in our minds that are preventing us from communicating naturally, fully. And the reason I don't say this, right, the reason that I communicate like this is goes back to like the politics stuff. It's like, well, because this person did this and that's so bad, it makes me and gives me the allowance to be this on this side. And we have to, it's up to us as individuals to make that change. It's up to us. And it's up to us as other people are saying stuff to us that's not in alignment, or if you're just mindlessly complaining about the world, I'm going to tell you to please stop. I don't like to hear it. If you want to talk about something, how can we figure it out? You want to problem solve something? Sure, let's problem solve it. But if you're just complaining for the sake of complaining, you got to knock it off. Like, you are so responsible for your words that you're communicating. You are responsible for the thoughts you're thinking. You're responsible for your emotions. And when your emotions connect with your communication and this leaves your mouth, it's your responsibility on who you're giving that information to. Not everything needs to be spoken. Not everything needs to be understood. And it's okay to not be understood. It's okay for the world to not understand you. That's a very funny battle, right? You don't always have to be understood about everything. You don't have to have. You can just be at peace. It's okay to just simply be at peace because you desire peace. So if you desire peace, you have to carve that out and create it in life. I'll come back to the chart. We'll look at it for a second, and then, oops, that's my face. There we go. This south node here with Neptune and the Mercury, I think that's a really big one. We'll just end it here on that, of how important that is to, as we all learn ourselves, this is the first opportunity in life that you get to be you, that you get to learn on who you are. You get to learn all of the little ins and outs of yourself, of your beautiful self. And we get to learn how this language, this communication, and when we learn this language, just like this little like railroad tracks here, the quincunx. Quincunx is a 5/12 aspects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, either way. It's a 5/12 aspect. It's the blind spot, astrological blind spot, similar to this sesqui-square here. Like, they don't really see each other. So it's like if we're trying to communicate logically, we can't communicate impulsively. Aries can be impulsive. Virgo is like, we've got it all planned. We've got it figured out. This kind of big puzzle piece, and these lines go here, and this goes here, and this goes like that. And this is how we get, we move to the puzzle, move through the maze. And Aries sometimes wants to come in like a thrasher, like a barbarian, and just try to rip through the labyrinth, if you will. The labyrinth is the communication. It's not necessarily easy to communicate with the outside world. It's not necessarily easy to communicate your love, your wants, your desires, your needs. You're pitching a book, you're pitching a podcast, you're pitching a show, you're pitching something, an idea, a concept to somebody else, right? And you want them to get on the same page as you. You're pitching your dream to them. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. And we can be denied once you open yourself up for that, and you can be, and you might be. But it's important to not be overly emotional, okay? Not to communicate with over emotions in this communication. Or if the dream got popped, to not be overly emotional about it. It's like that weird dating show or something that came out recently, and people walk out and they just pop the bubble. To me, I think that's like an oddly cruel mind show. Like, that doesn't do good for us. But it's like sometimes our bubbles get popped, and we might be thinking one thing, and that we're presenting something that's this brilliant genius thing, and then somebody who's been in an industry for a long time comes and pops the bubble, and it's just like, okay, it's up to you how you deal with that and how you receive that information. And if they say, hey, this is a good idea, but it needs work, or if they say this isn't a good idea, how do you take that? It's up to you. Do you listen to the industry professional who's doing this for a long time and it's not a good idea? Do you keep running with the idea? I like to look at Walt Disney in his approach to building Disneyland in a swamp in Florida. And they say, Walt, you're crazy. But he had a vision. And it didn't matter what other people told Walt. It didn't matter that they were denying him of his dopamine hit of like, hey, that's a great idea, right? Like if Walt Disney was asking ChatGPT, be like, wow, Walt, that's a brilliant idea. You're so smart and genius. You're so cool. I wish I could be just like you. ChatGPT are these stupid AI things. They just blow so much smoke. Where real people don't. Like your real friends, they're gonna tell you it's a good idea or a bad idea, And then you can get mad at your friends, you can believe your friends, you can trust your friends, you can have a genius idea, and your friend says that's a dumb idea. Now, do you believe your friend? And do you abandon this idea that you had? Do you abandon this concept? Or do you continue to follow through with it? Do you need to rub your friend's nose in the mud when you succeed? And you say, see, look, that was... No, that's not necessary. I've had people tell me astrology is BS, and I had somebody tell me that astrology is stupid. And I said, well, let me read your chart. And I read my buddy's chart. And I said, well, whatever's coming up in September, are you in a relationship? He says, no. I said, well, September, there's something coming up. And then I got invited to his bachelor party because he got married, and he met someone in September. We don't always know. And sometimes our friends can be very judgmental and not think the best of us. And it's okay. We have to be our own cheerleader. We have to communicate and ask people for advice. Do you think this is good or bad? At the end of the day, you're the captain of your own ship. At the end of the day, you're the one that has to be happy with yourself. And if you abandon your idea, if you abandon your baby, you threw the baby out with the bathwater because your friend didn't have the vision that you had, you're the one that was gifted with the vision. So it's up to you to either follow through with it or be like, no, that wasn't a good idea, or it wasn't the right time, or cool idea, but just not, I'm not going to, carry on with it, right? We got to committing to things. So it's how you choose to deal with it, my friends, and how you choose to be emotional or not emotional about it, blow up our emotions and then push everybody away, or try to manage our emotions and logic, taking the initiative, but not being the barbarian that's just trying to. Right. Do you understand the analogy of like being in the labyrinth and the barbarian just wants to chop through it? Like, that's not the goal. The goal isn't just to get to the other side. It's like listening to music. It's not, the goal isn't listening to the very last piece. The goal of the movie isn't just to watch the last scene. It's to follow the story. It's to follow the trail. It's to follow your path, right? To create the path. So the point is to be in the labyrinth, to get lost a little bit, to learn the different ways. Learn yourself. Get lost a little bit. Get rejected. Be denied of things. Have brilliant ideas. Try to run with those ideas. Now, the beautiful thing here as well is there's a spark of energy. This spark of energy doesn't necessarily mean it's going to keep the energy going, okay? That's what Leo is for, is the hearth. That's the sun, the burning sun, that the fire stays going all the time. And Capricorn brings things to completion. So we have a lot of Aries energy right now that is saying, take the initiative, take the start, take the leap of faith. Begin the thing, start the thing, get the momentum going, okay? So that way just a little snowball becomes an avalanche. And this for you is what we want. We want to create the avalanche, meaning we want to create so much momentum. We want to create so much spark from this energy that it's going to create and propel something for us down the road when we don't have the spark of the match energy anymore. So then we can have the Leo energy and the Capricorn energy help us bring things to completion. There's a lot going on, my friends. It's up to you. It's up to you to... Here's another thing. All right. Resentment is like, this is like not letting me go. It's just like some of you hold resentment. Like, take a moment. You hold resentments for, maybe your parents, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-wife, your ex-boss, because they did you dirty. They fired you when you should have gotten a raise, or you weren't heard when you felt you should have been heard. And we carry these resentments. And why is this bringing it up? Because of this Jupiter emotions, septile to Mercury communication, Neptune dreams, septile over here to Uranus, which is about breakthrough and break free and let go. Okay, and then we have the ability here in our minds to let go of the judgment from other people and move toward this place of forgiveness and compassion. And that's what you want. You can have the tools in your belt from the experience. It's like, if I see patterns or something that's going on, how somebody's communicating or talking, I'm like, give them a little leeway. But then if it keeps happening, it's just like, okay, you're teaching me that these are spikes. These are spikes in the road and I can't go any further, right? So there's like, these are tools for the belt. Like our previous experiences are tools for the belt and how we can navigate moving forward currently. What we don't need to do is say like, oh, I got this, right? I got this tool from this person being a jerk or this person being this way and it's hardened me. It's like, we don't need our armor on when we make love. We take the armor off. It's not the place for armor. We're allowed to remove the armor. And here the heart wants to love. The heart doesn't want to hold on to resentment. The heart doesn't want to hold on to anger. Coming back to the beginning of this conversation, how many people during President Trump's 2 terms I've seen that are good-hearted people act like just crap? And if this is you, I'm calling you out. it's just simple. Like, we don't need to do that. We don't need to hold to these resentments, even if you don't like what the person's doing. It's like it's all part of the rainbow, friends. These are all colors of the rainbow. These are all spectrums of the rainbow, and this is all. I don't believe in the Christian God or Thor or Freya or Zeus, but there is a unified energy that's connecting all of this. There's something that's making all of this happen. I'm not keeping planet Earth spinning, and neither are you. And we can rest our minds and we can rest our hearts that we are not the ones in charge of all of this, because if we are, then we failed. There's something else happening. There's something bigger than us that we can't see. I watched this video yesterday. I shared it on my Instaface of this guy. He's just playing on his phone, mindlessly sitting there, and he's just looking at his phone, and he's kind of dangling his legs over, and there's just a street, and he's got to be in like Bali or something like that. And this monkey jumps on the guy's back and like just jumps over him in slow motion. The guy picks his head up. Okay. Now, at first thought is this stupid monkey, right? Picks his head up from him, tunnel vision blinders with his horse blinders on, looking at his phone, picks his head up, and there's a car coming straight at him. And he moves his legs just enough time. His legs would have been smashed, pinned. He might have died. I mean, he would have lost his legs. His legs would have been crushed, undoubtedly, right? But what that man viewed for a moment of that monkey is the world being awful. Here I am doing my thing, the thing that I enjoy. I'm in my peaceful place. I'm doom scrolling or texting my girlfriend or whatever the guy was doing. Who knows? Sending the most important email of his life. Okay, but that monkey hit him, and for the first moment is this like that stupid monkey. But what was bigger was that monkey just saved the guy's life. Okay, this is the same with our worldly politics, guys, and I'm telling you this from just a pure place of honesty. There's things that are just bigger than us that we don't understand, and I'm not fighting for the right or fighting for the left. Things are just bigger than us that we don't understand. And we have to be at a certain amount of peace with certain things, and what is within our control, do something about. Things that are out of our control that we can't do anything about, it's okay to just not hold anger in our hearts. If we can do something about it, do something about it. If you can do something positive, do something positive. If you can't do something positive about it, if it's only complaining or bitching and making it worse, shut up. Just shut up. For yourself and for everyone around you. If you're holding on to resentments for politics, for your parents, for your ex, for something that happened in grade school, this is an opportunity to dissolve. This is an opportunity. You don't have to forget, but you don't have to hold it on and have the weight dangling on you anymore. Again, the last 2 weeks ago was our full moon. Okay. Libra is about balance, the balancing scales of Libra, and judgment of Virgo, and whatever is coming at me in life, I'm saying no and yes. No to this, no to this, yes to this, yes to this. And this makes my scales of Libra balance out. Okay, so how we're choosing to communicate, how we're choosing to act, how we're choosing to say no and yes to something is creating our balancing scales. And it's up to us to keep those scales balanced. It's up to us to be kind people, no matter what has happened in our lives. I saw some comedian, Jimmy, the English guy who's very quite proper, Jimmy Carr. And he said, there's no trust fund baby that's born on this planet that doesn't have a world of issues. Just the same amount of issues as the kid who was born with nothing and poor. We all have issues. Every rose has its thorn. And for us to be so judgmental and look at other people in different situations and hold resentment against them, or, well, they had it easier because of this. It's like, no, we have to let that stuff go. And that's why I'm still talking on this astrology video, is there's so much here that we're holding on to that we have to let go of. So much judgment. This South Node in Virgo saying, let go of your judgments. Let go of these harsh ideas from your brothers and sisters. Let go of these harsh judgments of people you don't know. Let go of these harsh judgments from your allies. Everybody on this planet is your ally. Everybody, we're all kind of fighting for the same thing. We just want to survive. We want to love and be loved. We want food and water and shelter. You know, it's a lot, guys. This is a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot in our laps, a lot in our personal laps. If you want to achieve the thing that you want to achieve, it's you're not achieving it because you didn't have all the crayons, and that guy over there or that woman over there didn't get it because she had all the crayons. They took the actions. They did their due diligence, and they did what was necessary for them to achieve. And you have the ability and the power to do the same, no matter what it is that you want to accomplish. You have the ability to take those steps, to take the actions, and align yourself, align your life with that of which you love and want and desire. And the universe is literally here with the sun on your face and the wind on your back saying, let's go. Okay, so that's a lot out of me today, my friends. I love you. I wish you so much. If you enjoyed this at all, please give it a like, a comment, a share. That kind of stuff helps my small channel grow. So we'll see you next time, and happy new mooning.